Hey class, this is Gabe. So this is for my map assignment, and boy, the minute I think of maps, I go kind of directly to Google Maps and Google Earth. I saw the drawing in the assignment, and I said, well, what's more personal to me, drawing or playing around in Google Maps? And that's really, my wife will testify to this. I probably spend a couple of hours a week on exploring Google Maps and Google Earth. So I thought that would be an all right medium to share with you all, and thinking about maps through with a deeply special place to me. That really is the country of Colombia, and here I'm zoomed in on Medellin, but I can zoom out and kind of let you guys see. Medellin is one of the main cities here, but can let you see this is the country of Colombia, right? It's in South America, the northernmost. It's kind of cool because it's got both the Caribbean and the Pacific Sea here. It's got three of the big Andes and the central Magdalena River Valley and Amazon and Llanos kind of plains. Super cool country. I was born there, have dual citizenship, so I have a really strong connection to the place. And there are a few things I want to share here. And one is this city I was zoomed in on, Medellin. I don't know how many of you played around with Google Earth recently, but if you notice, I'm here in Google Earth and I'm looking at Medellin in 1984. So I obviously wasn't around back then. This is Pablo Escobar was hanging out in Medellin, giving out $100 bills around this time. And if we think about it, Medellin was one of the biggest cities in Colombia, and clearly it fills this entire valley. It's this valley that goes through this. Both sides of here are valleys, and the river kind of goes through and then out. Now, watch what happens. What do you think has happened over the past 40 years? And you can kind of see this really dramatically. Now, I'll just move the counter and we can see what happens. So I'm moving up. Now I'm in the 90s, right? And 2020, and look at that, I guess, urbanization. It's grown so much, and just since I remember it, as a kid, maybe in 2009, right? 2009 to 2020, it's changed a lot. And that the surrounding places is there's been a lot of change, and of course just more people. It's urbanization, change, but also just kind of the general human use of land. And this is, I show Medellin. I could also come over across the Andes and show Bogota. See, look at this. This is craziness. Bogota is a giant city. And I'll show some other things that aren't cities too, but just thinking about the change. So this is Bogota. And there's Soacha and a few different Cotachia, right? There's a few different like suburbs here. And it's the capital, right? And watch how small it goes when I go back here to the 80s. Like, look at that. It's probably doubled in size. And all of this that used to be, pasture. A lot of this is like pasture in here, and there were horses and cows. Look at this. Wow. So that's the human, like, just living side. There's another one here. Colombia is one of the places that have the few tropical glaciers, and here's one. This is actually the town I was born in, Manizales, and right next to Manizales there's a glacier. And let me go back to the 1980s. Now you can see this is called Los Nevados, right? The snowy mountains, and they are 15,000 foot mountain range. This is the tallest one that actually has a glacier on it, and you can kind of see the glacier here. And there might be some pictures if I click on it. But look what happens right to the glacier. Of course, it is a oh, where's that word? Equatorial glacier. Look at this, right? How small it is. It went from this big snow-covered kind of or ice-covered peak to a bit smaller in 2011, right? To now very, very small and it is running out. There will probably not be too much glacier in the future, and I'm lucky to have gotten to see it. So the last one I'm going to show is a bigger view of the Amazon. This is the Colombian Amazon, and so here we are in 2017, right? And that's not even that long ago. Look at 2017 to 2020. Look at that change. That's just deforestation. That is Amazon, like pristine virgin forest being cut down. If I go back to the 80s, right? That's all forest. It's all Amazon. The Amazon, biggest rainforest in the world, huge carbon sink. Now, look what's going on. And luckily, you zoom out a little more and realize, okay, there's a lot more Amazon to go around. This is actually not deforestation up here. This is what's called the llanos. They're another type of just kind of grassland. It's very cool. Lots of anacondas. Anyway, what you can see here is just that really recent. And there's actually an explanation for why, if you go back, from the 90s through 90s through 95, there's it grows, but it's not as crazy maybe as in the last few years from 2015 or so through to 2020. And that's because the government signed a peace treaty with the rebel guerrilla fighters, the FARC, and in that peace treaty, the FARC stopped fighting, which they were inhabiting a lot of these kind of rural places and the wild jungle, which allowed for those places to be open for loggers and other people to come in. So that's just an unfortunate thing that's happening, but the Colombian government is taking a lot of action to protect a lot of the land, especially connected with indigenous people, and it's really, really good to see. Anyway, that's my Colombia map story. Thank you.